I'm Chuck. This is Up Chuck Chops. Thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to try and build the bank of carburetors up. Check out my my setup here. I've got this sweet bandana on because it is hot in here, even with the AC. So, I have new parts. I have the books telling me what to do. I have workspace. I have my old parts. And I have my tools. So we're set up and ready to go. I procrastinated long enough. Let's get to it. Alright, so this is going to be a little arduous. I'm going to take my time and we're going to do it. I hope. Try to get everything on camera, cut out the boring stuff, and get the information we need. I have my parts over here lined up 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the air cuts in the back, other miscellaneous pieces labeled. My information tells me to start at the top of the card, and I'm supposed to install the plastic air jet cover and screw it in snugly. That's this guy. Right, like that. Right there. And I just had a mystery O-ring show up. Wonder where that came from. Okay. Brand new white rag. If I need to give anything a quick wipe down, I will. See this edge right here? That should be facing up. Next up's the spring and my cap. And I do have new screws for these. Screws I bought have a 4mm Allen head. So far, the guide I printed off, so good. They were correct on the pitch and length and size of screw, so that's awesome. Okay, folks, had to go on a side mission. I had to get a magnifying glass and some cheater glasses trying to see the writing on these jets. My information says that the CB900, the primaries are number 68 and secondaries are 105. This evidently is not stock because this one, after checking with the magnifying glass, is 100. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I'm guessing these have been changed before from stock because of the aftermarket header and 4-to-1 pipe. That one should be my primary main jet. This one doesn't have writing, so I'm going to assume it came out of there. Just snug. So after a trip to the store for a magnifying glass to read, and a solid hour of going back and forth between book and paper, here's what I have. The primary main jet is indicated as a number 68. The secondaries are 105s. I think I said this earlier. This one said 100, and I was confused a bit because some of this stuff I did not take out that should have. I know there's a couple things that were stuck, and I wasn't going to maul the carburetor to get them out. I'm fingers crossing that, well, you know, fingers crossed this works out. So I got my slow jet plug in. I have my secondary jet in. I'm going to snug it up right there. Get my wrench. That's not an 8 mil. Okay. I didn't overkill it. I just snugged it. There's what we look like going back together. What we look like going back together. My pamphlet of literature says the float valve seats are extremely important to be clean. It recommends some metal polish. I don't have any. Its second choice is toothpaste, and both options use Q-tip. So we're going to give that a little scrub-a-dub and then a shot of brake clean, and try to make sure we are very clean. I've never done this before. Well, what do you know? There was a little dirt in there. It's very difficult trying to do something you've never done before with instructions that are printed in black and white. I'm grateful for them, don't get me wrong. But it is a difficult thing for me. And I would much rather not take something out than take it out and brutalize the carburetor and not be able to use it at all. Because they don't, it's not like they make these anymore. Came out pretty clean. I'll give her a good shot. Okay. Came out pretty nice. That took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That took 10 Q-tips, folks. And I've run this thing through a carb dip and a ultrasonic cleaner. That's what it's called. So there's that. I finished that step. Okay, the next step, pilot screws. I believe this is said pilot screw, and there's supposed to be an O-ring that goes on, and it goes in this hole here. Right there. And these are supposed to be eased in and out 2.5 turns. I'm going to try that. But if I recall, it was out 3 turns. But these are outside the bowl. I can adjust it Should be while the carburetors are in the bike. Okay, what's called on the paper pamphlet I printed as a pilot screw, what the climber manual calls it is a primary nozzle. So, got the pilot screw / primary nozzle, the spring. It goes on a tiny little washer that I really need to not drop, like so. And then the new O-ring I also need to not drop. Okay, just like that. I remember those coming apart. I'll slide it in. Okay, that's bottomed. This pamphlet says do not force it. Once the flat section below the thin neck is even with the bottom of the pilot screw hole, you'll be bottomed out. So on the 900, 1000, 1100 carbs, you'll see a bit more of the pilot screw sticking up to the bottom of the carb through. I'm going to go out 2 1/2 turns. Half, 1, half, 2 1/2. So that should be the ticket. Okay, next up is the floats. Slide my float needle in. That seems a little sloppy, but okay. And then alright, there you have it. Next step done. I am using the new floats. The old ones are pretty grody looking. So that's that. Alright, there's a spec of 15.5 millimeters from the bottom of the carb. There's no adjustment on these. I tried to check it out, did what I could. That's what it is. It'll work or it won't. Next step is new O-rings on the bolt drain screws. Bowl. New O-ring on the float bowl drain screws. I want to guess that's that. And I didn't take it apart before. I bought a pile of O-rings. And I should have a bowl drain screw if I need it. This one appears pretty okay. Except that O-ring is rough. It's hard to tell. Anyhow, the O-ring's pretty rough. I need to replace it. And it's doubled. So that worries me something's wrong with this screw. I'm going to see if I have a replacement. So we're going to pop one of these loose. Do a comparison. Oops. Okay, you're just going to have to trust me. They look the same. This one's got a fresh O-ring. It's brand new. I'm going to put the old one back in the bowl. I'll drop it in. Snug it up. Okay, that's a hard stop. That one's in. Alright. I do have new hardware for the bowls. Got a new I have a new gasket. As the instructions recommend, I am not using any RTV. It seems to fit good. Right like that. Slide the bottom of the carb on. I'm going about that all backwards. Drop my new hardware in. Very gently start them. Give it a snug. Looks like my gasket's still sitting nice. On this little tiny O-ring, there's a flat side that goes out away from the carburetor towards you in this little hole. Diaphragm drops in. Make sure it fits nicely. The spring sits there. This goes like so. And I have 2 new screws for that too. I'll find them and we'll tighten her up. I almost forgot. I think I have some washers to put on these. I gotta check my old screws. My old air cut screws do have a tiny little lock washer. Okay, found the lock washer. Drop them on. So that is one carb done. All right, folks. That is carburetor 1 of 4 done. As best as I can do with what would come loose, and as good a stuff as I could buy to put it together with. Hopefully, the other 3 go smoother. I should probably scrap this whole video and start with carb 3 and 4, so it looks like I know what I'm doing. But the truth is, I don't know at all what I'm doing. But I enjoy working on stuff. That's one of. I'm 25% there. How much more worse could it be? I'm going to save everything that came out of this car. I'm going to keep them in their bins, and then if I get into trouble, maybe I can look back at them, or maybe I can reuse the piece, or maybe the new piece doesn't work, put the old piece back in. I don't really know, but fingers crossed it works. Here's a little sidebar. Um, Bolt Depot. There it is. BoltDepot.com, I think. Um, so far, all the recommended fasteners that I purchased from them have been excellent. Really like them. Um, they shipped it out quickly. It got to me on time, which is not completely their doing because UPS or FedEx or USPS, I don't know, somebody sent it. But regardless, through one carb, all the bits and pieces that I bought from Bolt Depot are working A-OK. So far, from 4 into 1, I got the carb cut, the air cut valves, the bowl gaskets. I didn't use any of the hardware, the jets and stuff, because I'm feeling they're different. I cleaned up the old ones real good, like we talked about, because I've got a different header and exhaust. So hopefully that's all okay. And the Amazon O-rings I got, they showed up on time. I haven't used them yet. I'm sure they'll be fine. They had good stars, lots of stars, many stars. But yeah, one last thing. If you watched this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate anybody who takes a minute to look at my stuff. I know lately it's been kind of longer, kind of boringer, kind of more boring. It's not super exciting. It's kind of tedious to watch. So if you do watch it, I appreciate it a lot. Hopefully we'll get into some more cool stuff, some more exciting stuff. But right now, this is what I got to do to try and get this project on the road and down the road. I'm not in love with this bike. I'm kind of falling out of love with Honda, working on their stuff. Um, it's aggravating. But anyhow, I hope this helps somebody else that's doing this and trying to make sense of it all. It is frustrating because one book calls it one thing, the pamphlet calls it something else. I'm trying not to mess up. It's what it is. 2.5. I may have misspoke on Carb 1 when we were doing it. The flat side of the air cut valve on this little O-ring should go toward the body of the carb. Now I either have to review footage or take that off and look at it. So there's number 3 button. I did misread and put that in wrong. Love doing things twice. It does fit better too. This one is bent. So I'm going to replace it. I like the little different spring too. Also going to put the new spring that came with it since I'm replacing it. Have the washer on. Now my O-ring. Makes me wonder if I should have done the other ones. Half. 1.5. 2.5. I can always go backwards. I think I might like that. Adjust better. I need more Q-tips. I just finished cleaning out the needle seat there. also realized that both screws have hot washers on, and top cap screws did too. So I'm going to go back to the carb readers and put those in. Got to pay attention to what you're doing. And I thought it was, but not enough. I'm going to figure that out now. I'm going to try to start this thing, and my screws work out. All right, there's number 4 buttoned up. At this point, I'm going to dog this off. I'm going to go back and make sure I have all my lock washers on 1 and 3. And then we'll move forward to 2. I think I may go ahead and replace these on the other carbs too. So we're just going to take a little pause.